Welcome to another edition of On Campus here on the Solano College Sports Network. I'm your host, Nate Macay, and today I'm being joined by a former student, a part of the sports broadcasting program offered here at Solano, Myckena Guerrero. Myckena, welcome back.
Hey, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Myckena, let's first talk about how you first got into being a sports reporter. What can you remember being a part of this program the most?
Oh my gosh. So I remember the first day I got lost. And I think it's funny that everyone still gets lost when I ask everyone how they got into it. But I remember that this was something that I wanted to do, like, since I was a little girl. Like, I know that everyone probably says that, but it's literally what I've always wanted to do. And I don't have a plan B, still don't have a plan B, didn't then. And I remember right before I walked in, I took a deep breath and was like, okay, like, you got this, but if you don't like this, I don't know what you're gonna do. Because,
right.
Like I said, I didn't have a plan B, but as soon as I walked in to the studio, I fell in love with it even more. And I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I've been able to have with Pop, and I mean his whole family has changed my life. So I'm so grateful to this program, to Bill and Whitney. They own the Fairfield channel, so I cannot explain like how excited I am for that this program has grown, and just to see like everything. I mean, the studio is totally different from even when I came here at first.
So you talked about your first day a little bit, as you just mentioned. Can you recall what was going through your mind when you first walked into this classroom?
Oh my
or
gosh.
Studio.
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy because a lot of the people that were a part of the program, like, we're still friends now. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've gotten out of this is the whole family aspect. Because, like, my friend Anthony, we hang out all the time. And that's something that those memories will always, like, I will always cherish with me. But the first day was kind of crazy because everything was laid out and I didn't really know what any of the equipment was. So it was kind of surreal. And Poff had us like pack everything and unload everything probably like 5 times. And we probably did that every class period because our group was terrible. Like, we did not know what we were doing. Like, we would goof off, but at the end of the day, like, we all knew what we wanted to do. But I think that's what made our group so special, is because we all kind of had the same similar like tactics and everything, but we got through it.
Nice. Yeah, if you ask Jasmine or Seth, I still struggle with putting back equipment, so yeah.
Yeah, that would make me really nervous.
Right. So can you remember the first either show or interview you did when you were part of this program?
Yeah, so the first game that we did was volleyball. It's definitely, I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? My broadcast partner at the time was Melanie Fuller, and I swear we started singing during the game.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It was like, if you watch it, you would be like, what is going on? Like, these people have no future in this career whatsoever. So that was kind of my first experience. But I mean, ever since then, you know, you learn that you're going to make mistakes, and it's just how you grow from them and what you learn from them, because you only get better from what you last did.
And so you pretty much said that you went ahead and were a part of a broadcast during that time. Do you remember what sport it was a part of?
Oh, that game?
Yeah, that game.
It was volleyball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So were you also interviewing any players during that time? Or?
So yeah, I think the first post-game interview I ever did was for volleyball. But I think one interview that really stood out to me was when we did like in-studio interviews, and mine was with Evan Facenda. And we were talking about his home run, and I thought it was super cool because after in post, Poff put a video of his home run over it, and I was so excited because I felt like this is like a Sports Center interview, and that's kind of when I realized like this is what I want to do, and this is what I feel like I can do for the rest of my life, because I just got that confidence and I just felt really comfortable in that interview. And yeah, I mean, ever since then I just fell in love with it even more. Every time I do something, I'm like, I don't know, it's like my first love, type of thing.
Nice, that's great to hear. So do you ever watch back any of your interviews or shows that we have on our YouTube channel, Greg Poff?
Oh yeah, I do. I actually did, I think it was last weekend. Last weekend. I was kind of reminiscing a little bit, and I looked back to actually the first promo that I did for football, and I was like, oh my god, my voice is different, like my hair was different. I mean, I think Melanie and I went through like 500 different hairstyles while we were here, but no, a lot of things were different. But I think one thing, yeah, I mean, a lot of things are different, but definitely the confidence has gotten a lot better too. And I think that I can speak from everyone, like Poff has really helped with that. Like coming into this, I didn't like to do speeches at all. Like I would get so scared. Like I would start sweating. Like I couldn't I couldn't handle it. Like it was like in high school I would freak out all the time, but like this, when I say this program has changed my life, it has changed my life completely.
Nice, that's great to hear. So once you finally got your start and pretty much getting out the sports broadcasting program here when you graduated with your certificate, what was the first job you were able to get?
So I actually started the program in 2015, and then a year later I got hired on at Max Preps as a video editor.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of what happened.
So did you stay over there for Max Preps for a long period of time? Did you transition from being a video editor?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like my ultimate goal was to be like a sports reporter. I wanted to like go to games and interview players and everything like that. So I kind of took it upon myself, and they asked if someone wanted to go to a game, and it was over here in Levi Stadium, and I was like, hey, I'll go.
Right.
And so brought a camera and actually did my first football interview with them. So yeah.
Can you remember what was that first football interview with, or?
Yeah, it was with so it was Mater Dei versus St. Mary's, and so I interviewed JT Daniels after.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but so that definitely is something that I'll remember forever.
Were you nervous about that first interview, or were you pretty confident?
I wasn't nervous just because I felt like I had so much experience here that the reps were there, but I definitely watch it back and I'm like, oh gosh, there's so many things that I could have improved on, and that was like 2 years ago.
Nice, that's good to hear. So you're bouncing around with a couple of opportunities. You've had a lot of interviews you were telling us about when we first got into class today.
Yeah.
What were some of the most, guess you would say, favorite interviews you've done over your career so far?
You know, I've gotten asked that question a lot. And I think, you know, a lot of people expect to say like the celebrity ones or like the pro athletes, but it's honestly like been with the high schoolers. Like those are memories that I'll be able to cherish forever, because it's like building those relationships and has meant so much to me. Like being able to be close with their families and just seeing them go from like here to here, and like watching on Saturdays that they're playing at that next level, they're accomplishing their dreams. Like that makes me happy.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like with any high school players, even with me, I did a couple of high school games being a play-by-play broadcaster, and even seeing, you know, their parents in the stands being excited for them, or even just watching a post-game interview that we do on our anytime that we do a high school playoff game, you can just tell the excitement in those players and how much of a great opportunity they're getting by even having the chance to just interview and be on camera and tell them, you know, how was their game and how did the game go for them. So I feel like that is something that they cherish for a lot, as you were saying as well.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, it's, you know, it's not how you start. You know, I mean, it's not how you start. It's like how you finish, and I just feel like there's so many things that you can learn from like everything that you do. And I think that's what this program has, you know, taught me, is that, you know, like Pop always says, like preparation is key, and that's something that I have been able to take with me, because, you know, it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, like if you love it, like it's not work.
Right, that's great to hear. So you were able to pretty much establish so far, are you happy where you are with Are you happy where you are, where your career's at, or is there one goal that you feel like you can fulfill the most?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm kind of one of those people. I'm very hard on myself. I feel like at the end of the day, like, I'm happy with where I'm at and everything, but I'm not satisfied because it's like I want more. And it's not like a greedy way, but it's like I want to keep pushing myself. You know what I mean? Like when I say like, oh gosh, what was I saying? Okay, you have to be, you know, comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that's something that has really stuck with me because there's going to be a lot of situations where you're going to have to get thrown out there and maybe like interview someone that you didn't prep for, and you have to be kind of ready for everything. And I think that's something that I have gotten a lot more confidence doing because you have to be ready at all times and people are going to test you. But yeah, basically that.
So you pretty much would say you like to challenge yourself at any given time.
Yeah, no. I love a good challenge.
Right, I would say the same so myself. So do you have that one dream interview that you feel as if that can be accomplished one day?
I think right now the interview that I would really want is with LeBron.
Right.
I think probably a lot of people would really want that. But yeah, I think that's something that would be really cool. But it's not even just about him in his career. I just think that what he's done as a person with his company and everything, the whole more than an athlete, I think that's super important nowadays because I think that people don't always see that athletes are more than, you know, just what they do on the field, the court, or, you know, in the ring. And I think that, you know, sharing someone's, like, everyone has a story, and I think that's really important to get out there, and that's what I really love.
Or even opening up his own school. I mean, that's really impressive as well.
Yeah.
Even I remember when he first got up on stage when he was doing the opening of that school. I mean, he couldn't even imagine opening up a school. That's just incredible in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely like a huge idol.
Especially idols for even little kids to even look up to and one day hopefully be like him.
Yeah.
So let's touch back more into the sports broadcasting program. You mentioned how much of an influence Greg Poff has been, along with his family, have been so far on your career. What would you say with anyone wanting to take this class can expect from him as a professor?
Oh man, it's not going to be easy, definitely. Right. But I think that if you come into this program, I think you need to take it seriously. Like, don't come in here thinking it's going to be like, oh, just like fun, we're going to watch sports. Like, no, you need to take this like as a job. Like some other people were saying, they treat it as an internship because you are getting paid with experience. You will get as much as you put into it, you know? So I think it's kind of up to you. I mean, POF gives you the tools and everything, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to decide, are you going to continue doing this, or is this just a class for you?
And do you feel like you would be where you are today if you weren't taking this program?
Oh, no. When I say that this program has changed my life, it has changed my life completely. Yeah, without POF, I don't even know where I would be. Without this program, I don't know. Like, school was never my thing.
It's not my thing either.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, a lot has happened, and yeah, without this program, I don't know if I would have even continued school.
And final question before we go. Again, you mentioned how you've done a lot of interviews. You're a sports reporter as well. What advice would you give to anyone wanting to become a sports reporter?
That's a really good question, because I think the best piece of advice that I could give is to work really hard. And if you love this, then put your heart and soul into it. It's not going to be easy at all. It's never going to be easy. Like I said, people are going to test you. People are going to tell you that you're not good enough. And there's going to be times where you doubt yourself. It happens to me all the time. Like, I question not whether I want to do this, but if I can. And then when I do another interview, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, This is what I want to do. But yeah, I think to work hard, trust the process, preparation is key. You really need to do your prep, but just be yourself at the end of the day, because people are always going to tell you that you need to change. And, you know, companies are going to tell you that you need to change. But at the end of the day, if you're not yourself, you're somebody else, and you're not unique. Like, and people are going to see that.
Well, Myckena, I really thank you for stopping by the studio. It's great to have you back here, and I definitely can say, you know, we definitely learned a lot about you, and I wish you the best of luck in your future.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So that's going to do it for this edition of On Campus here on the Solano College Sports Network. For my guest, Myckena Guerrero, wish you the best of luck in your future again.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this edition of On Campus. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.
Hey, Jordan Adams. Thanks for watching the Solano College Sports Network.